And we're in the kitchen this morning cooking with foods inspired by the Pacific Northwest. Driftwood restaurant opened a few months ago along West Seattle's Alki Beach, and their founder, Dan Mallahan, is here to cook with us this morning. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
I am excited because we're making something very unique. Please tell us what we're making.
We're doing a little black cod dish with sunchokes and winter radishes.
Okay.
So right now is kind of the lull between the end of wintertime and the beginning of spring. So it can be a little bit of a food wasteland.
Yeah.
But you know, with unique ingredients, you can kind of manipulate them and have them be a different preparation.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it's really really
It's
nice.
an important thing to do to be seasonal.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
sustainable. It's all the good things. As we get started, I want to ask you. This may seem silly. I don't know. What is a sunchoke?
A sunchoke, yeah.
Yeah.
Sunchokes are actually most closely related to a sunflower, which is interesting.
So it's not an artichoke.
It's not an artichoke.
right.
They go by the name sunchoke or Jerusalem artichoke, but it's actually related to the sunflower. So the flavor is very sweet when caramelized, similar to like sunflower seeds.
I'm excited
grow
to try it.
Flowers themselves, and then the nodules or the kind of the root system is what you're eating.
Okay.
So these have been braised slightly, and we're going to caramelize them in the pan.
I can't wait to try it. Let's get the fish
Yeah.
in the pan. That pan is really hot. It's supposed to be really hot. I'm just gonna.
It's supposed to be really hot.
Okay. So sunchokes.
Yeah,
going
we're gonna do some sunchokes in, and then a couple of the winter radishes. These are purple daikons that we've
They're
cooked.
so pretty. I came here when I first walked up to him in the kitchen. I go, "What are these pretty purple things?" And he said, "They're radishes." And so, like, not only is it the seasonal, but you're also getting some color in here too.
Oh yeah.
And is that fish the skin removed from that fish?
This is not. This is skin on fish, and I think there's a lot of fear when you cook a skin on fish of the skin sticking. But the most important thing is high heat in the beginning, and then you can turn it down to being a lower temperature.
Okay.
So we like to get a nice high heat.
Get a little sear on that
Yeah,
skin.
get a little sear.
And then
Typically we would
just a little bit of butter.
Just a little bit of butter. Yeah.
Tablespoon.
Butter's good for you. Butter's good for you.
Butter is good for you.
It's a natural fat.
It's,
so.
it's good. Trust me, I recently heard this from my doctor. Also, I have to ask you about this chef's press.
Yeah.
Why is that important to put on top of the fish?
It's actually just a tool used for even surface areas.
Okay.
So typically when you put a fish in a hot pan, especially when it has skin on it, it tends to kind of shrink up on itself. Okay. So you want to have a little weight. You can use your hand, but you're by a hot piece of metal. So you can use a tool. There's a bunch of different little weights. Chef press is one that I've used for years, and I highly recommend it. It's by a chef friend of mine, Bruce Hill.
Oh, cool.
Invented it, and it's pretty standardized in a lot of kitchens.
And it's made in Oakland, California.
It is.
Made in the USA. I love that too.
Although I do have a friend in Portstown who's going to be carrying them at his knife shop.
Sweet.
Which is pretty cool, called Uptown Cutlery.
I love it.
Yeah, and it's a perfect little tool. They stack. I don't have another one here, but if you need more weight, if you're doing like a hamburger or something that's a little bit, you want a little bit more weight, yeah, you can just stack them.
This is 13 ounces. That's what it says there. All right, I got to ask you as we're waiting for this fish to cook. I love the name of your restaurant, Driftwood.
Yeah.
Because it's so much a part of the Pacific Northwest is these beautiful pieces of driftwood and fish and fresh things. What was the inspiration for the concept of this restaurant?
The concept is honestly just a showcase and the celebration of all things Washington. So, I grew up here. I spent a lot of time cooking in San Francisco and in Italy, but I grew up in Everett.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm from this area, and after traveling and living in a bunch of different places in other states and around the world, you just kind of realize how special Washington State is. And our plan is to just showcase the abundance and the uniqueness of Washington. So all the food that we bring into the restaurant, any produce, any fresh ingredient, all proteins are strictly from Washington State. And we work with a lot of awesome purveyors, Preservation Meat Collective, to bring us all of our red meat and other proteins. And then we work directly with Northwest Bounty, who essentially sources almost exclusively from the Native American tribes in Washington. So this is Macaw Nation black cod from Nia Bay. Line caught, and it's a fantastic fresh product that sometimes we get in day boat.
Look at this! You got a pork chop from Moses Lake, Washington. Ribeye from Moses. I love how you source everything locally. And I was just giving a little look-see at their cocktail list. which is lovely too. You even have Seattle Cocktail Week
Yeah,
cocktails.
we're doing a
so-
few cocktails for Seattle Cocktail Week, which should be a lot of fun.
which we're going to be talking about later in the show. But I'm
Awesome.
really excited to see just how much it does celebrate. And you're absolutely right. There is nothing like Washington State. I'm almost here 8 years now, almost a decade.
Yeah.
And I'm still amazed at how beautiful it is. Now, what did you just put in there?
So this is turnip greens,
Turnip
also
greens.
called turnip rob. So there's a family of vegetables, brassicas, that all sprout kind of right now in between winter
It
and
looks
spring.
like what's sprouting in my garden that shouldn't be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this
well,
must
maybe
taste
it is,
better.
and you can eat it.
I
It
could
might
eat
be
it,
totally
maybe.
edible. So yeah, these guys are nice and tender. Turnip is obviously the bulb that you eat, and then the greens. This is a Haranike turnip. It's a really kind of sweet market turnip that you put on a salad. You could serve it totally raw.
Really?
Yeah, and what we like to do is just to get a little bit of color, wilt it a little bit. The stems are really, really tender, very sweet. This is coming from Olympia, at a friend's little big farm up in Olympia.
Little Big Farm?
Little Big Farm, yeah. They grow a lot of awesome stuff for us, mainly salad things.
Again,
but they do a great job.
And you're using every part of the vegetable, which I think is great, very sustainable as well, like
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier. This is just beautiful. So once it's all comes together, you've got this beautiful dish right here. And how do you finish it off? What is that liquid in there?
So it's a little broth. So we do, full animal utilization. We take the bones after we take the fillet off. And portion it, and we reserve any trim, any of the bones, and we roast them gently. And then we'll make a stock out of the fish bones, which is pretty typical in most kitchens.
Yeah.
We finish ours with a little bit of local miso, and then just reduce it and clarify it a little bit, and we'll pour that hot right before it goes to the table. So it's just this really nice, flavorful, seasoned broth to kind of
All right.
heat everything
I'm
up.
going to try it now. I love the crispiness of the
Oh yeah,
fish.
crispy skin. That's the key. Is crispy
And
skin.
that sunchoke is so tasty. Oh my gosh, this has been so good, Dan. This is delicious. Thank you so much for coming here, for showing us how to make this wonderful things. Go visit his restaurant, Driftwood. You will not be disappointed. It is a celebration of the Pacific Northwest.
Well, thanks
Thank
for having
you,
me.
my
I
friend.
appreciate it very much.